Frog Week 2025, a joint effort between PA Woods and Forest and also Woods and Forest Media, with nearly 20 public virtual events, videos, and educational resources. And we talk to Aaron Capole about this every year. And of course, it's been a while since we've talked to him, but July 21st through the 27th, a lot going on, and obviously a lot behind the scenes going on. So that's why I'm very happy to have you with us. I know you're a crazy man right now. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me on again, Bo. It's great to see you.
So in preparation of this, as I say, behind the scenes, there's so much that you have to make sure to get everything aligned. But as we talked about, all these events that are scheduled, this is pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, this is, I think, a brand new experience for everybody within the community, whether you're going to come to some events in person or you're going to celebrate with us and watch a reflection of the episodes that we were able to capture from the field, and also a lot of other projects that we did this year. I'm really excited for the outcome.
What's awesome is the way that you can mix these live events with talents that you've developed over the years with social media skills and using YouTube as a tool as well, right?
That's right, and there's so much that we're going to be able to showcase from YouTube. We saw tremendous upgrades in the technology and all of the presentation style and format for the project this year. So I think people, if they want to see the closest they possibly can of the animals in their backyards to a National Geographic documentary, then this is probably going to be pretty close to that.
So let's start with PA Woods and Forest, because I can't assume that people have heard our previous conversations. And then from there, we'll talk about why Frog Week. But first of all, PA Woods and Forest.
Yes, PA Woods and Forests is the nonprofit that's doing all the field work. So we primarily focus on frogs and toads and pollinator insects like bees and butterflies. But for this specific project, it's a conservation project about frogs and toads, and we're on year 7. And we have done anything from creating habitats in backyards to monitoring populations of frogs and toads that our own group was the first to highlight and document in this county, Cambria County, and also Somerset County. And we've also been able to highlight species that are potentially more rare. I mean, out of the 18 species, we were able to film 7 that are native in our own backyards. How many people thought we had 7 frogs and toads running around in Cambria and Somerset counties?
Yeah. Why the frog? Why is this important? Not only to you, but why is this important in general to study frog?
Well, I think from my understanding, frogs and toads are a keystone species, and if they would decline, it would cause a collapse in a lot of the ecosystem, but also they're good indicators of water quality, especially in our region in western Pennsylvania. You think of acid mine drainage, and there's a frog, the pickerel frog, who requires very clean and healthy waters, and it's one of the frogs featured in an episode. And it's one of the species that could become an ambassador to show you that you do have good water quality. So that's another indicator. And also, they control pests. So I think there's some stories out there anecdotally about American toads on farms and around houses. They could eat over 10,000 insects in a summer, something like that. There's a really crazy stat out there, but that just goes to show you whether it's mosquitoes or lanternflies or ticks or stink bugs, that's a pest control that people should feel is invaluable.
Yeah, absolutely. You're listening to the voice of Aaron Capole of PA Woods and Forest. Frog Week each day from July 21st to 27th. Let's talk about some of the things that we have to look forward to coming up during the week.
We have incredible events coming up this year. We have our first ever kickoff with the library downtown in Cambria County with the Cambria County Library. We're going to have a lot of unique things there to present to the public. I'm very excited to share our findings and reflect on the season, but also to bring some ambassador frogs and toads who have been road rescued or have come from very dangerous situations. Mm-hmm. That's one of the big highlights for one of the very first events of the week. And we're also going to have a fundraiser at Permanis in Johnstown and another couple fundraisers as well. One is going to be at the Fat Squirrel on July 23rd. The Permanis one will be the 22nd, and we'll have a Brenda's Deli fundraiser Saturday the 26th.
Yeah.
So we have a lot where you could come and support us, get a meal, and enjoy local business. Also, we have different nature hikes. We're going to be at Lorain Stony Creek hiking trails. We're also going to have a lot of hikes in Westmoreland County. There's one at the Westmoreland Conservation District. There's one with the Westmoreland Land Trust in Ardera, out in Westmoreland. We also have probably one of the most popular ones people have been asking about is the Powder Mill Frog Walk, which is also going to take place July 23rd after the Fat Squirrel fundraiser. So we have a lot of different things that we're going to be doing for the public to come and visit, get involved, learn maybe who we are, what our mission is, and also learn what Frog Week is, whether they see it for themselves on a nature hike or they have a chance to reflect maybe at a presentation or talking to us during a fundraiser.
And so people that may attend any of these events, if they want to find out more information about what you're all about, or maybe even check out a listing of what may be available to them, what they might be able to check out, website, any information that they can seek?
So PAWoodsandForests.com is going to take you to the it's going to give you the opportunity to see the events tab, and you'll have a chance to see some of the videos. It's primarily going to come out on the partner Woods and Forests Media YouTube channel. But if you're looking for events, if you're looking to find a way to get involved, if you have any sightings of frogs and toads, you can email them to us. Please tell us just the county and, give us a little information about when you found it, what the weather was like, stuff like that. But the reason why I say that is because we're doing a citizen science conservation project with iNaturalist, and that's basically an open source place where you can submit pictures and audio calls of animals, and it helps to identify what's living in pretty much any section of the world. And we're using that as a part for our conservation project to find what frogs and toads are native in our own backyards in the 7 counties that we highlight, but how many of them are there and how many records can we get of each species is one of the goals that we've had this year for Frog Week, and then to report that to the public in one of the episodes for Frog Week to share with you what we found. So I think that's real-time data, and it's also really fascinating that the public has a chance to contribute to all of this.
That is awesome. You're listening to the voice of Aaron Capole. So we're talking about Frog Week, July 21st through 27th. And I'm sure, Aaron, there's some people listening to your voice right now that are part of organizations, churches, schools, community groups that may want to find out about what you're doing, may want to be where a presentation could be. But I'm sure you're always inviting people to reach out to seek more information about what you do.
Yeah, this is the perfect time to reach out because we have started different projects and different initiatives. So one of the episodes is based on probably 15 events. They were critter talks. So I received a few grants, and we were able to purchase carnivorous plants, millipedes, and we also were able to rescue tadpoles from drying puddles around the different target communities that we focus on. And we allowed the kids to raise all of those critters. I gave presentations, but what I've learned is not just the schools, but even the libraries and some businesses wanted to participate. So, if it's a place that maybe doesn't necessarily have the ability to have a critter talk, we also do habitat creation, so we can build small-scale habitats in backyards, or like we are building a small habitat right now for a Bible camp down in Bedford. So there are a lot of possibilities that we could provide folks with if they are interested in having us come out.
And you addressed earlier that it's not just these live presentations also, but you've taken real pride in the videos and some of the footage that you have taken. You've educated yourself pretty well to put some very nice National Geographic style presentations, haven't you? And of course, to access them, it's not difficult.
Right, and I'm really glad you brought that up. There's so much here to talk about, whether it's the drones or it's some of the cinema cameras or it's some of the gadgets, an underwater camera that's filming the American toads laying their eggs, or trail cameras watching the American toads and wood frogs like wrestling. There are so many little gadgets, and it just seemed like the project was so deep with innovation this year, with so many different gadgets, real-time cameras to record thunderstorms happening. So just a lot of like little details that were able to make their way into the project, but also whether it was utilizing like new lenses like the macro lens that we got, or just some of the high quality things that we were able to purchase and showcase out in the field. There's definitely a lot more to showcase of these animals, and using some of the best equipment that we could possibly get our hands on. I really do say this quite literally. It's one of the closest images you're going to get of a spring peeper or an American toad or one of any of the other species. You're not going to see very many projects that highlight them with as high of quality or as high of detail, because of the care and the passion that's gone into this project, and spending that money to be able to bring that presentation to you in a way that we never have before.
Right. And in previous years when you've visited, it's been a year since we've last seen you, but I'm always impressed with what I see. And yet the way technology changes and the way innovations occur, you have to stay abreast of what's going on with all the new equipment, do you?
Exactly, yeah. And I think that we are also in a very interesting time for the project, because this year we're highlighting two common species, but I needed the technology to be able to film them for the first time in 7 years. And one of them is the spring peeper. I had to go out and get a macro lens and figure out how I was going to record them, because it's a frog about as small as your thumbnail. Mm-hmm. So having that opportunity was a very special moment, a common frog that everybody hears, but nobody usually sees. And having the capabilities to utilize all of the technology and put that into the passion that I have for these animals at home, with very large enclosures that rival even some zoo setups, and being able to tell stories, very few of them, but a few stories about the animals that I'm taking to do presentations. And also, I guess real quick, another side note, from doing these Critter Talk presentations in the schools, I've also amassed an audience now that if the teachers don't have a lesson plan, they might put on a couple of the different shows for the Woods and Forests Media YouTube channel. So kids might be learning something about Frog Week instead of watching a movie, or they might be watching the life and times of some of these different animals in these enclosures. And that's what the point is of having the educator permit, right, is for kids to then learn this is an animal. It does have a name and it does have a face, and you can learn how its life is unfolding. But we can learn a lot about these animals and hopefully leave an impact on impressionable minds that we should be, backyard stewards over the land that we have. And hopefully it gives them an interest in wanting to take care of frogs and toads, deep into the next generation, all the way from kindergarten up to college.
And no doubt, the pride you must have in educating others about this, but in the year since I've last seen you, I mean, I'm certain when you're out on the trails finding these things that you discover things as well. So, I'm sure certainly this becomes entertaining to you because you discover things. I mean, just the wonderment of nature and the things that you discover, also makes this a labor of love for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think that people are going to see it's very different. I'm not going to deep in the forest in a lot of cases to create this powerful documentary about each different species. In some instances, yes, I am far away from the public, but in others, they're going to find out the American toad and pickerel frog episodes specifically. I'm out in main attraction, an area that's a fishing site, and I have to kind of hide the locations of where I'm going so people don't go and poach the frogs and they don't take them or harass them. So I apologize, I'm not able to go in too much detail of exactly where across 150 miles and 7 counties, but I will say that this location had been a spot I had gone to rarely, but I didn't focus my time. But as I arrived on the scene, I saw an American toad that had its wrist cut off. I saw pickerel frogs that were hooked by fishing lines, and I had a lot of people making comments as I was on my way over to work with the frogs. I didn't say what I was doing, but just the comments about, oh, they make great fishing bait, and there was a lot of stuff that was said even that I don't want to go too deep into, but still, just the hostile environment that a couple of these species were breeding in, and it was literally for the pickerel frogs the only location that we were able to highlight for them this year. They had the fewest records on iNaturalist, but just seeing the environment, the pollution with fishing lines up in the trees and the tires in the water and also trash all over the place. And it's like, kids are going to use this habitat just like the frogs. They might be, skimming the marginal areas of the water as well. And all that's a danger, not just to the frogs, but I think about the children too that are going to be a part of that environment. At some point it's a fishing area. So it's just, something to think about that I don't think a lot of people will see in different documentaries is like, this person is going and risking a lot to come here to help these frogs. And I almost call it like be the maintenance man or the custodian. I'm the guy that's coming to clean things up or fix them or hopefully help solve a problem rather than, glamorously filming a 4K video. I mean, that is part of it, but there are things that you can't even fathom that I can't necessarily show in the videos that go behind the scenes to make this all work.
And obviously you can learn more by going to the PA Woods and Forest website this week coming up, July 21st to 27th, Frog Week 2025. Any final message that you have for the listener, Aaron?
Yeah, we are doing so much this year, whether it's an acoustic research study or it's the iNaturalist Citizen Science Project. There's also a phenology study. So we're doing real research, but we're also doing citizen science. We're building backyards and habitats for the community. I see the way that PA Woods and Forests works as its active president and founder. We aren't necessarily focused on the state parks and the national forests because they have so much funding and conservation efforts. But I think in this generation, a lot of the battles are going to be won in your own backyard. And so we're very interested in creating those wildlife corridors. But I mean, our target audience is the families and especially the youth. So if we have that opportunity to build one in your backyard or to have you come out and join us on a nature hike or to watch the videos, whether it's learning about the wild frogs that we have in Pennsylvania or about the animals that are growing in these big tanks that, we got weather, we have thunderstorms and crazy things to showcase inside enclosures that a lot of people wouldn't necessarily give to an American toad or a gray tree frog. So I think there's something for everybody to watch and also to be engaged with. So hopefully they'll take this opportunity to get to know us. I'm very excited for this year with everything that we have to offer. I couldn't think of a better time for the project. And I just hope that given the information here that either we'll see some folks that will say, hey, we heard you on the radio, or we'll have the opportunity to pick up some viewership and get some more followers that want to actually really support what we're doing. And that's what I'm here for.
July 21st through the 27th, Frog Week 2025. Don't think I didn't notice that T-shirt, by the way, Frog Week 2025. Aaron Capole, PA Woods and Forest, thank you so much for what you do. Always enjoy this conversation.
Thank you, Bo. Looking forward to coming back soon.